This is Greg Troutwine with Maritime Reporter TV, and we're here today with Murray Goldberg, CEO of Marine Learning Systems, as the company has just launched its new SkillGrader for officer and crew skill assessment. Murray, as always, a pleasure to see you.
Wonderful to be here. Thank you, Greg.
What exactly is SkillGrader?
Yeah, well, the SkillGrader for us is a new product. It's an app that effectively enables objective and simple assessment of any observable skill. So it can be used to assess an individual or a team. And if you think in maritime, think about things like drills or simulation exercises. If you want to evaluate somebody after they've been trained to see if they're qualified, or really even assessing on-the-job activities or on-the-job performance. The idea is that it puts real data in your hands about safety and efficiency with respect to the skills that our officers and crew perform. It replaces paper-based assessments, which we use all over the place. They're inherently subjective. They don't produce data in the form that can be analyzed for trends and gaps and those kinds of things. And I really think it's about time. I mean, we care deeply about skills in the maritime industry, but the way we assess them it's ancient.
So, Murray, can you give us a little perspective on the investment, time, money, or the metrics of your choice that was used to bring this from an idea to a deliverable?
Yes, it's hard to quantify costs, but essentially this has been about a 3-year effort. It initially began as a need that was expressed by a customer of ours, which is a huge maritime simulation center outside of Amsterdam. They, of course, used paper-based assessments, as is common now in the industry, but they wanted more objective assessments, assessments that could be compared over time and compared regardless of who actually did the assessment, who the assessor was. And they also wanted their assessment data stored so that it could be mined for insights. So as I say, this was probably about at least 3 years ago now. We built them a prototype, which was a tool to accomplish these goals. And even though it was just a prototype, really for testing, the reaction to it was hugely positive. Use just skyrocketed at the organization, and all assessments now are done with it. So about 18 months ago, we realized that this really now can be generalized. I mean, it's not just for simulation assessment, although it's very good at that. It can be really used for any kind of assessment, as I say, for any observable skill. So we were asked in consultation again with this customer of ours to build an app for tablets and for smartphones to be able to assess other kinds of skills. And we just released it this week. So all in, it's been a little bit over a 3-year effort.
But why is skill assessment such an important part of the training process?
It's really because an officer or a crew member, they could be the smartest person on board, but if they can't translate that knowledge into a safe and consistent and efficient performance of their duties, then that knowledge isn't going to take them anywhere. It's not going to help. So we have tools, we have technical tools for objective and consistent knowledge assessment, but we really don't have anything for objective and consistent skill assessment. So it was needed. And it was pretty clear because our customers told us that it was needed.
What do I tangibly get from SkillGrader?
Right. Well, first, you can expect to be able to more easily assess skills and do it more often. And I say this because with the current paper-based mode of assessment, the assessor really needs to be an expert. They have to be an expert assessor. And these are few and far between. I mean, they're hard to find, they're expensive to train and create. But with a skill grader, the expertise is mostly built into the tool. So the person who's doing the assessment requires far less expertise, which is why we now call him or her an observer rather than an assessor. So that's first. Second, you can expect instant reports after the skill is performed, indicating whether the team or individual is proficient and how each individual contributed to the team performance, and of course, what the gaps are. And that instant report is kind of nice because, again, on a paper-based model, the assessor has to take the assessment, go away for a number of hours, write up a report. And so that debrief is hard to have in a really constructive way immediately after the skill's been performed. With the skill grader, you get an instant report, which allows you to do that. And finally, what you can expect is a growing database of assessment data, which can be mined to discover trends and gaps and strengths, weaknesses, not just for the individuals who are assessed, but for the workforce as a whole, because you can look for these things across your entire workforce. Essentially, what you get is real objective data on one of the most important questions in the industry. Can our workers actually perform their jobs the way we need them to?
Excellent. One more question, last but not least. Where can I get it and how much does it cost?
It's software. It runs on an app. It is an app rather. It runs on tablets and smartphones, so it's in the App Store. But to find out about it and to get it, skillgrader.com, or to our company website, marinels.com. And the pricing is based on usage, so it really just varies according to how many people and how many assessments that are done.